correct.
Severe starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9
Go on in.
to none.
I'm backstage right now.
Wi-Fi is taking its time.
Vicks Dayquil Severe, the daytime non-drowsy, coughing, aching,
says I'm just
feverish, sore
backstage,
throat,
so
9 to none
Yeah, I got
medicine. Use this direct.
Here we go.
The Jim Rome Show.
I mean, I love the game, but I don't play the game.
Weekdays at 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
All right, you guys are going hot.
Audio works. We're good to go. Welcome back to the program, Duke City. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. As always, we're live from the John Lopez Real Estate and Coldwell Banker Legacy Studio. We play on Team I-9. We start our days at the YMCA. A burger and a milkshake, that goes down every day at 66 Diner. I mean, once a week for me, Jason.
You can be honest.
I try to
You don't
stay.
have to lie to me.
I try to stay svelte. My cheat days, try to keep in check. But a burger and a shake, there's no better place than 66 Diner. It's Throwing Thursday every Thursday at ABQ Axe. The boys will give you $7.50 off per person, per lane, per hour. And with the money you save, get yourself a Red Door beer. Why don't you?
You deserve it.
Your merch, which you're not wearing today, and I'm very disappointed, should be purchased at the Duke's Team Store on the corner of Central and Carlisle. In the weekends, that's for Teller Vodka, New Mexico's vodka, 40 short minutes away from 5 o'clock, where I crack a Teller tea and make the world jealous. If you want to get a Teller tea yourself, come on down, as 2 Men On is live today from Red Door downtown, right here in between 5th and 6th Street on beautiful Central Avenue, downtown Albuquerque.
It's a pretty nice place.
You make it downtown a lot?
Not really.
You should.
Well, I live over on the east side, and I'm always at Tramway at the ice rink. So
That's right. You live up there.
I do. Like, just to drive here was a 30-minute drive for me, and I'm not in Texas anymore, so that's far.
Yeah, it's air quotes far in Albuquerque.
Right. People would tell me it's a far drive. How long is it? 30
So
minutes? That's normal for Texas.
You're the voice of the Ice Wolves.
Yes.
You're at the Outpost Ice Arena on the corner of Tramway and Tramway.
Yep.
Let's talk about your origins as a hockey broadcaster. Like, I want to know, like, where this thirst to get in this field came from. Were you just a hockey guy from birth? Is this all sports? Is this opportunity? Tell me about your journey.
So it was all sports as a kid. I loved everything, and I gravitated more towards baseball at first.
Okay.
And then it was baseball and hockey, and those were the two sports I cared about. I could care less if I'm watching basketball or football, soccer. It was baseball and hockey, and the seasons rarely crossed, so I never had to make a decision.
Sure, yeah.
And being in Texas, it's always football, football, football. And I said, well, I don't want to go on that route. I want to be a hockey guy. So I graduate high school, and question gets asked, what do you want to do for the rest of your life by the family? I don't know. Maybe I want to talk sports. All right, what sport? I want hockey because that's my favorite sport. So I start going to college, working on my degree. My stepdad had connections with a minor league team in the area about 20 minutes away from where I lived in Allen, Texas. And I had an internship with them. So that's how I started the broadcasting side. And I just thought, I'll just be a studio guy. I'll do analysis, things like that. I'm never going to be good enough to do play-by-play. That's so
don't
tough.
say that.
I mean, for somebody that's never tried, and you just listen to how much these guys say doing play-by-play, radio or TV, it seems like it's a challenge. So I was like, there's no way. I've never talked that fast before in my life. Why would I be able to do this now? And then I was given several opportunities by my boss, the voice of the Allen Americans, Tommy Daniels. I owe a lot to him. And he started teaching me how to do play-by-play, and he gave me more and more opportunities on broadcast. COVID hit, canceled everything. And as it started coming back, the Ice Wolves couldn't play here in the state.
Uh-huh.
They were playing all of their games in North Richland Hills, Texas, which is 45 minutes away from Allen. They have connections to the Americans because of who their the high school's coaches. Phil Fox used to play in Allen. And he calls Tommy. He says, Tommy, I need a broadcaster. Can you do a few games? He said, I can. I have this intern, has no experience, but he would love an opportunity if you'll take him on. Hello, I am the intern.
Oh, what a story, man.
And
So that's like a fantastic example of making the best out of a golden opportunity.
Right. And
I usually go the other way with it.
really,
I usually botch and fail every opportunity I have. So it's good to see somebody do it right.
well, there were many failures prior. Don't let me trick you. I mean, I just got my bachelor's degree just about a year ago, a little over a year ago now. That's why I've moved out here full time. Thank you to Stan Hubbard for allowing me to travel and finish
Sure.
my degree and not saying you got to choose us or that. My day job made me do that.
Right.
They said, you can't change your schedule again. So either you need to go to school or you need to choose us. And I said, well, I'm not going to work in life insurance for the rest of my life.
I mean, you could always fall back on it when,
Yeah.
global warming hits and it gets way
No,
warmer
that's-
and we can't keep the ice frozen. And then hockey is outdated and we got to go back to playing a real sport. Your first love, baseball.
I'm okay for baseball. I mean,
Why?
if anybody's watching the online stream right now, they see the Texas Rangers hat.
Sure.
I mean, I'm okay with baseball right now. I have no problem with it.
Yeah, your Rangers are in first place against my second place Houston Astros, one of the best rivalries in baseball this year. But I want to talk a little more. We'll talk some baseball, a lot of football talk in the program today. But, I'm just interested on you, grasping this opportunity and taking that leap and going to a city that you've never been to before, right? You
Right.
moved to Albuquerque just completely in the dark.
Yes. And when I was told about the opportunity during COVID, it was, oh, yeah, there's this hockey team from New Mexico. Like, there's a hockey team in New Mexico. Yes, it's junior hockey. They play in Albuquerque. I'm like, okay, that's weird, but I'm a hockey broadcaster in Texas trying to make it big. So is it really that much different in weirdness levels? No, I don't think it is. It's almost a perfect fit. Couple of misfit places for the sport, and we match up really well together. I'm not going to lie to you, Van. I was not good my first year. That was just the inexperience, though.
Sure, man. You got to
And-
cut your teeth. You got to get
Right.
them reps, right?
We get the reps in. I get to know the players better. I travel more with the team. And all of a sudden, people are like, hey, you're actually good at this. And I'm like, hey, I might actually be good at this. And then, like I said, I graduated 2022 in the spring from University of North Texas with my bachelor's degree, finished out the season, made some arrangements, got an apartment out here in the summer, and just passed 1 year full in New Mexico and became the director of community outreach for the team as well as director of broadcasting. We now have a second team here, so I was able to hire that broadcast crew, and they do a phenomenal job. They'll eventually take over for me whenever I move on, if they don't take over for me before that, because they're so good.
Jason Thomas, voice of the Ice Wolves, joining us today on Two Men On. Isaiah Johnson back at the studio. Isaiah, how old were you when you found out that white people play soccer on ice with sticks?
We'll go 8.
Okay, that's a reasonable date.
That is.
That's a reasonable age.
We'll go 8.
So okay,
and
so
the
obviously
reason the reason
go ahead, Isaiah.
so yeah, the reason I'll say 8 is because I remember there was a guy in my class, and I was a new kid in class. I think I came in like a month in, so it was right where people started to click up a little bit. And there was a guy that kind of always gave me mean looks, and I was always wondering why. And I found it was a guy. He's about my size. He's bigger too. And I realized that he played hockey and football, but I just played football. He'd always tell me how much tougher he was because he played hockey also. And hockey was much tougher than football.
Okay, I think it's a wash. Hockey is a hard sport. You get
I would say
slammed
so.
up. I mean,
I think it looks harder. It looks like it may be a little more. I see more teeth missing from hockey players. You don't see too many football players walking around with.
I think the biggest danger is the puck flying around at 100+ miles an hour, and you could be blinded or concussed or have your face ripped open or take a puck right in the larynx.
Yeah, that happens a lot. And actually, this past season in Shreveport,
Oh, here we
our
go.
captain one of the defensemen took a slap shot. It deflected off of a stick, and caught our captain right here in the lip.
Oh my
Cut him
God.
open. We were wearing our white jerseys on the road, which is very rare,
Okay.
mind you. Whole jersey is bloody. That happens at the end of the second period. It's a 3-period game. And I'm like, okay, obviously he's probably out for the game. He's going to need stitches. There's no way he comes back. And sure enough, with halfway through the third period, I see this guy walking down, and it's the captain with a bubble cage on, wanting to go back out and play. And they told him he couldn't just because of the blood on his jersey. Otherwise, they would have let him.
So he just put on another shirt, and that's fine?
He did for the next night.
Oh, sorry, sweater. Another sweater.
Sweater, yeah.
In hockey, they're called sweaters. I learned that recently. Thanks, Letterkenny.
Yeah, Letterkenny's a great show. You want to learn hockey, go watch Letterkenny, watch Shoresy. Highly recommend it.
We'll definitely hit up some Letterkenny talk later in the program, as that's where I got most of my hockey education from. But when we get back, NFL talk, voice of the Ice Wolves, Jason Thomas joins us on 2 Men On. You're listening to 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by
Clear.
Hey, I'm going to switch Wi-Fi's real quick.
Protection. Yep, protection.
Okay, sounds good.
Skin protection.
Oh, no.
These shoes I got in Atlanta, when I brought them back, I told you, how'd you get those? They were due for releasing sneakers like 2 weeks. I told her that big cities, oh, that should hurt me, man. I gotta figure out a way to do something.
That's a bummer, man.
Match the other side.
When that hits you. Oh, yeah. Put it on the other side.
Yeah, that should hurt me, man. I love like it's tone.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I think I got 590s. Oh, I gotta go pay that meter. Yeah. Yeah. Doors at 6, music 6 to 7, show at 7:30, I think.
Who's doing the music?
Oh, I forgot the name of the band. There's some band out there, literally little band playing on the fucking ring.
Is it like shit? You might have to talk to about that because my girl has a band.
Yeah, they're looking for somebody every show.
It's like a rock metal band.
Yeah, they're looking for like fun, high energy stuff.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay, man.
I saw it earlier.
Yeah, he just came here for one segment. Why aren't you connecting? All right, we're just going to have to use red door. Hope it stays on.
I do with my old oil.
We can recycle your used oil for free.
All right.
And I might need some help.
No problem. We have helpful how-tos at AutoZone.com.
It's really
Restrictions apply.
At Granger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because
Okay.
the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference.
Carry most of it.
It's moving.
But
Sounds
yeah, if
We're the same way,
if I
offering
engage
access to
you
product
kinda like
experts to help you quickly and easily
slower
find what
and
you need.
stronger
So whatever your industry,
for your diction,
getting professional grade
instead of, like,
products.
just talking natural,
Call, click
Okay,
if that
cool.
makes any sense.
Granger.
Yeah, I think
For
we're
the
we
ones
sound good, right?
who
We're not
get it
cutting
done.
her out.
Yeah, no, yeah, you guys are good.
Yeah, when
Take a
you talk
small
about- when
step
we're-
toward
like,
a
when you
big
talk during the
future for
commercial
your
break, it's
child
fine.
and get them caught
But
up
when
on
you
their
talk
vaccines.
during
Just
a
like
segment, it
helmets,
kinda crackles a
seatbelts,
little
and
bit.
all the other
Okay.
fearless child safe vaccine
Okay, gotcha.
Cool.
effective way to strengthen your child's immune system, protect them from illness, and set them up for a bright future. Don't wait. Vaccinate. Make an appointment to get your child caught up on their vaccines today. Get started at vaccinenm.org/kids.
Mix a little sports analysis, pop culture, and great interviews, and you've got the Rich Eisen Show podcast.
Mike Florio, for their gigs this year, do you think?
Brandon Staley of the Chargers has to be. Ended the 2022 season. And I think Robert Kraft put everyone on notice, including Bill Belichick, that it could be over. And Rich, every owner is thinking about the easy part is getting rid of the guy I have. The hard part is finding a guy who's as good or better.
The Rich Eisen Show podcast, wherever you listen.
On this list.
New Mexico Sports Authority.
If I can't help in for that segment, I'm gonna try.
We do Joe Mixon.
All right, going live now.
DJ Isaiah on the ones and twos, bringing that heat with what I can only assume is some sort of Led Zeppelin cover band. I'm feeling it though. Welcome back to the program, Duke City. Listen to Two Men On 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal. A lot of dudes in court today. One of them, one Joe Mixon, found not guilty of aggravated menacing. Did you hear anything about this, Mr. Thomas? Jason Thomas joining us, voice of the Ice Wolves, on the program.
So not really until you mentioned it a little earlier today for me. I'm a Texas Longhorn fan, so I try to stay away from OU guys as much as possible.
Okay, smart move.
So when you said that, I was like, oh, I wonder what he is not guilty of this time. It's
So
new for him.
Joe Mixon was accused of pulling a gun on a road rage incident in January. It was a really bad look, but whispers came out that he didn't have a gun. He was like holding a cell phone, and it's just a bad look for everyone involved because you got a gun. It's obviously a gun. Like, we have enough problems with people wielding firearms in this country and the police's reaction to that, whether or not they're actually armed. But the story goes that he was literally just holding a cellular telephone, and the lady called the cops in fear for her life, and then now acquitted. And you don't hear enough of these stories where it's an accusatory, and then they actually, hey, wait, they were telling the truth this whole time. How novel.
Right, and I would not have guessed that Joe Mixon would be that guy that we hear that about, just from his past experiences with the law. But I mean, good for him. I never want to see any type of professional athlete get in trouble like that, especially with firearms. I mean, see what happened with Ja Morant and the NBA, that mess of a story. So I'm glad to see that he was found not guilty, acquitted, and everything like that, and he can move on and focus on his Cincinnati Bengals as they try to make a run next year, this season, I guess, just around the corner.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw the video and if you read the testimony, it's pretty obvious that this lady was the instigator. And once she figured out she was dealing with a famous NFL football player, she saw little dollar signs in her eyes, and I could tell this was just a money grab. I mean, if I'm reading this correctly and it played out the way that I think it did, she started it. She, got all road ragey and Karen-y, and then found out that the other person involved was Joe Mixon and said, hey, he had a gun. He scared me. I was so scared. He was menacing me. Look, none of this is true.
No.
None of this is true. And look, believe women, okay? Believe their stories, okay? Whether it's assault or sexual assault, or we need to believe these stories and take them very seriously for quite some time in this country, in the world, et cetera, that, this kind of stuff just flew under the radar, especially for famous people. Actors, athletes, musicians, this kind of stuff just got swept under the rug. You throw some dollars at it, it goes away. But believe women, believe their stories. But every once in a while, you're going to get these stories where they're absolutely full of it, and it's obvious it's full of it. Look, a lot of people lie. A lot of people embellish. If you're a fan of the show, you've probably ran into this every show. This is the hyperbole train here on Two Men On. Choo-choo, baby. Let's go. But in real life, when you're dealing with people's livelihoods, when you're dealing with, these dudes can get incarcerated or lose millions and millions of dollars in a lawsuit, and you are outwardly lying, you are a giant pile of garbage. Yes. You are the worst kind of human to lie and try to get all these people in trouble. But in this situation, there's eyewitnesses. There's video evidence. What were you thinking? Why did you still pursue this trial when there's video evidence?
Maybe she thought, it's not going to be worth his time. He's not going to want that type of publicity. He doesn't want to go through it, so he's just going to pay me off. That's the only thing that would make sense in that scenario. There's all this evidence to show that this isn't factual and truthful, but he's not going to want to go through all of that. He doesn't want to deal with it, so he's going to say, hey, here's $500,000 to keep quiet. I'm going to let everything go. That's the only thing that would make sense in my mind.
And, speaking of making sense, this does make sense that this is the way it played out, right? Her original allegations, and it was mildly, if not believable, when this news came out, because Joe Mixon has a history of doing stuff like this. There's a lot of allegations against him when he was younger, not a lot the last few years. He's apparently been taking really good care of himself as a running back for the Cincinnati Bengals, an NFL player and role model for the kids of Cincinnati. But when I first heard this, it was like just a little tinge of, sure, why not? Because we hear these stories all the time. I mean, maybe this is a problem of, literally people like me. Because what story am I highlighting right now? Joe Mixon doing something allegedly stupid. If the old saying, if it bleeds, it leads. And this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about athletes doing stupid stuff. And in this, again, this is the overwhelming minority of incidents with, people under the public eye. This is a sports social. We're going to lean way heavily on athletes, but we hear stories about athletes doing stupid stuff all the time. You mentioned John Morant. He's the example for the class. It's hard to get dumber than the decision-making skills of John Morant. But we need to start we got to go one for one from now on. And I'm going to look some feel-good stories up to sprinkle in sometime in this program.
I like it.
Because if if it bleeds, it leads attitude of us just pointing at idiots and talking about their behavior, let's sprinkle in some good stuff too.
Everybody needs some good stuff in their lives.
I'm sorry, I was thinking you're guilty right when I heard the story, Joe Mixon. More football talk when we get back. We're going to talk a little wide receiver groups, who's got the best, who's got the worst, and who's overrated. NFL talk when we get back. You're listening to Two Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal.
This report is sponsored.
All clear?
Indeed.com. Fall into autumn hiring with Indeed. They're all easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Traffic right now, we've got congestion in a couple of spots westbound on I-40. The first, as you approach Wyoming, those slowdowns are going to last until Louisiana. Then again, starting right around the interchange, again, westbound on I-40, those will go until bound on I-40 right in San Mateo. Traffic's moving slow there. 25 Osuna to Comanche, dealing with slowdowns in that area. Also, things moving slow northbound on I-20. and Central. Westbound on Paseo, Jefferson to 2nd Street, dealing with some slowdowns there as well.
This message is brought to you by the New Mexico Department of Game and Fish. TJ Trout here, and whether or a first-time fisher person, New Mexico has something for everybody. Explore hidden fishing gems and create memories that will last. The Department of Game and Fish website to learn more. Get out and fish. Your
hotline at 167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress. Proud with quality over 87 years. 3 News Radio KKOB.
This is Zach Gelb with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by NHTSA. Sober or Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson taking home the trophy. The non-Cuban Player of the Year with after get the trophy. I'm Zach Gelb.
The Jim Rome Show.
It's JETS. Landed Aaron Rodgers, but the vibes are official. When was the last time you could say that about this team? Not since Broadway. His mink coat and white cleats. They finally is to actually contain. Interesting. Now,
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10 on 90 and AM 610. Animal.
Ask Sherwin-Williams during the 4-day super sale, August 18th. 30% off paints and stains with prices starting at $26.69. That our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists found it to be relaxing. And of course, for other color. Online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. Oh, thank you. What does it say? Beware. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of hospitalization from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about being vaccinated against RSV today. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Subaru is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Subarus arriving daily, you're going to love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Subaru from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestasubaru.com.
Taco Bell, we like to keep mornings simple because before 11 a.m., you're not down whatever.
No.
You're not interested in trying new things.
No.
You want a breakfast that's toned down and delicious, like the Breakfast Crunch Wrap with fluffy eggs, sausage, melty cheese, and a crispy hash brown and a grilled tortilla.
I want to eat that.
See? You may not be a morning person, but it's morning, and you're a person. Taco Bell breakfast, served until 11 a.m. At participating Taco Bell stores, breakfast hours only while supplies last.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
I gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. Pick up 40 days of consistency. All over Febreze car clips right on your face. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Eric Strauss here. There is nothing easy about soffits and easements. You have to get out the ladder, the paint, the mess. Yuck. I hired CertaPro painters to repaint my faded old soffits and easements, and now my house looks amazing. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Schedules fill up fast, so now's the time to plan your project or your home or business.
Take us with you anywhere.
Well, anywhere with cell service.
Download the KNML app in the Google Play or iTunes App Store. Just search KNML.
All right, going hot now.
Welcome back to the program, Duke City. Listen to 2 Men on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal. One Van Nunley here, one Isaiah Johnson back at the studio. One Jason Thomas sitting right next to me, voice of the Ice Wolves. What's happening, dude?
How's it going?
Good. You having any fun yet?
I'm having a blast as always. It's nice to come out of hibernation in the summer. Since, ice hockey is predominantly played in the winter. Summer is usually that little bit of off time. It gets a little slower, but season's just a few weeks away, so I've come back alive.
So you call all the matches for the Ice Wolves here in Albuquerque. When you're there in the summer, because I know you wear a lot of hats for the organization, you got a lot of job titles, you do a lot of different things, but you got to go in and out of the Outpost Ice Arena quite often.
Yes.
In the summer like this, do you have to wear a lot of layers? Because you got 105 outside, you go inside, you got to keep that ice frozen.
Right, the ice stays frozen somehow. It's all that technology. Don't ask me to explain it. I'm just the play-by-play guy. No, it's actually really refreshing to go to work when it's hot outside, when it's 95, 96 degrees like it is today. You're in there, it feels good, and if you go outside, you're a little too hot, you just go stand right next to the ice. You cool down pretty quick, and then enjoy the air conditioning at your desk. It's not bad.
I'm sure keeping the ice frozen in the middle of the desert, the bills are astronomical. But I'm assuming that the air conditioning bills are lower because the big old blocks of ice in the whole building.
Yes and no.
Okay.
So
please science to me, Jason.
I'll science the best I can. So I will say this. Yes, hockey season is over, but we do keep the ice because we have public skates that the public can just go, and there's a few hours each day. You can look up the hours online.
Which I love.
Right, and you can just go and skate around. You can learn to skate. There's figure skating. There's curling. There's skating lessons, hockey lessons that former players, coaches will actively do throughout the summer. So you might see bigger arenas in like the NHL or those levels. They'll just get rid of their ice and then rebuild it right before the next season starts. But we keep the 2 sheets of ice and the 2 curling tunnels. We keep them frozen and going all year round, and it's every single day of the week there is something going on that ice.
The Outpost Arena is icy, but your Ice Wolves merch is absolutely fire.
Yes.
I see the Ice Wolves logo. I see sweaters. I see hats. I see T-shirts all around town. You guys got like a really big following, and you wouldn't expect that in the middle of the desert with some young men playing hockey.
No, I didn't expect that. I didn't know what to expect. Like we said, I've come from Texas, came to Albuquerque, New Mexico for a hockey team. I'm like, okay, there's no way we're going to have that big of a fan base here. And boy, has the city proved me wrong. Not only do we have a big fan base, but they're all very tightly knit. It's a very close group. You can get just over 1,000 people when that includes standing room only. And so we sell out almost every game. And you see a lot of the same people, but you also see different consistencies of people. And every now and then you get those new guys and you're like, oh, hey, your first game. Nice to meet you. I hope you're enjoying it. And every time this is so much fun. I love Ice Wolves games. And everybody always says, I love the merch and I love the logo.
Oh, whoever designed that is an absolute master of their craft because the logo is fire. The merch is fire. You guys, a brand recognition here in Albuquerque is fantastic. If you haven't been out to the Outpost Ice Arena and caught an Ice Wolves match yet, it's a must-do.
Yes.
And get your seats as low as possible because it's a different world when you're up against the glass, right?
It is. It definitely is. I'm going to go against all hockey rules here.
Uh-oh.
I'm strange. I'm not a big fan of glass seats. I like the highest seat in whatever arena I'm in, because then I can see the entire sheet of the ice and I can see plays develop.
Sure.
And that's how I knew I was going to be wanting to do broadcasting, because I like to be as far away and I can see every little thing happening and I don't miss too much there. But for a fan,
right,
it's all about those on the glass seats because you can just
Absolutely.
feel that action all the time. But for me, I like that bird's eye view. I'm weird, I know.
Well, no, I mean you're an analyst of the game. You're a connoisseur of the game, the X's and O's, if you will, of hockey. What do you call X's and O's of hockey? X's and O's of hockey?
Just forward and D.
Oh, okay. The
Forward and defense. That's all it is.
The F's and the D's.
Yeah, you have
hockey.
three forwards on the line. You have F1, F2, F3.
Okay.
That's really all it is.
So we're not talking X's and O's here. We're talking F's and D's.
Yeah, X's and O's that's a football.
But I know. I got you.
No.
So when you're watching, let's say somebody goes and watches the Ice Wolves for the first time. What do you expect?
Expect fast-paced action. Probably going to see a few goals. You're going to see some big hits. Depending on the opponent, you might even see a fight or two. It just depends how much we've played these guys and the type of rivalry we have. Like I told you before we went on air, we start in 3 weeks.
That's exciting.
And we open up against probably what our biggest rivalry is right now, and that's the Lone Star Brahmas. It's the only time they come is our opening weekend. So those are always a blast to go to. We have, out of the 4 weekends in September, we have 3 of them at home. And the one we're not at home, we're in Minnesota. Playing the US.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah. Do the showcase where the whole league goes. And the Ice Wolves actually get to play the U.S. National Development Team. So that'll be a fun little month there. 3 home weekends and the U.S. team.
For people who aren't aware of the Ice Wolves structure, I mean, this is semi-professional hockey. But a development league. These are young men from all around the world who come here.
Yes, so it's called junior hockey, and these are kids end of high school, out of high school, trying to get Division I scholarships to continue not just their education but their playing as well. Obviously, hopes to get drafted and make it to the pros and eventually the NHL. That's obviously the dream goal for everybody. So the league's motto is it's the league of opportunity. We want to give these kids the opportunity to further their careers in hockey and education. And the main focus is the players, but it goes to everywhere in the organization, from broadcasters to coaches to scouts, developmental people. Everybody is trying to just take that next step and learn as much as they do. But the primary focus is these kids, just trying to get them into the best school possible for them. And it doesn't matter if you go Division 1, 2, or 3. We just want to see you get that scholarship.
A lot of fun out there at the Outpost Ice Arena with New Mexico Ice Wolves and Voice of the Ice Wolves. Jason Thomas will be joining us all 5 o'clock hour up until Voice of the Isotopes. Josh Sushon joins us, and then we're going straight across the street to the El Rey Theater to catch us some Duke City Championship Wrestling. Don't miss a second of that tonight. A measly $15 will get you in the door.
Easy.
For hours of entertainment. NFL talk when we get back. Who's your favorite wide receiver group? 505-246-0610. Hit us up on the Sports Animal hotline or the Sports Animal text line. I want all of your hot takes when we get back. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Clear?
This report brought to you by Quality by DiLorenzo, Lomas, and Pennsylvania.
The hottest things this summer are the finance deals you'll find at Quality Buick GMC on Lomas through Labor Day. Save thousands with 2.9% financing OAC on all 2023 Buicks. Quality by DiLorenzo, qualitydeal.com.
Right now, dealing with congestion southbound on I-25 as you approach it. So that's going to hang with you until Candelaria. Careful going through there. Westbound on I-40 right now, traffic moving slow in a couple of spots. First between Wyoming and Louisiana. Watch yourself there. Then again, a little further westbound on I-40 between the interchange and Coors. Traffic moving slow there also. Eastbound on I-40, interchange San Mateo. Some slowdowns there as well. Northbound on I-25 as you approach Gibson, you're going to see some slowdowns there. Those are going to last until Central. And headed west on Paseo right now between Jefferson and the river, dealing with some slowdowns there also.
This report is sponsored by GeneratorFranchise.com. Millions protect your home from power outages. Generac. Would you like to be part of this lucrative entry? Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac
and mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Track Center.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. Everybody suiting up in pads and hitting football practice yesterday needs to hear this, but fighting your own teammates is dumb. Fighting in practice is a waste of time. Physically swinging on your own teammates does not make you a better player or a better team. Letting your hands go at a joint practice does not make you tough. It makes you dumb. Nobody has ever gotten up on a championship podium, lifted up that glorious Lombardi trophy and said, we owe it all to camp fights. Nobody's ever won the college football playoff and said, had we not been swinging on one another in August, none of this would have been possible. Look, I know why it happens. It's stressful. It's hot. Dudes have been grinding for weeks. They're over it. Guys are competing for their livelihoods. But availability is your best ability. And the last thing you want to do is not be available because you broke your hand hitting a teammate who was still wearing his helmet.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of the first year. With me. Wait. Hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait. Unlimited first-year cash back match, only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Attention rodeo fans, the Sandoval County Sheriff's Posse annual rodeo is back. It all starts Friday, August 18th with the Youth Rodeo at 6:30 and Open Rodeo at 7:30. Then Saturday, August 19th, the Youth Rodeo starts at 6 and the Open Rodeo at 7. There's plenty of food and fun, not to mention some of the best bull riders in New Mexico. Admission $15 for adults, $5 for children 12 and under. This is a cash-only event. This advertisement is paid for by the Town of Bernalillo Lodgers Tax.
K240BL Albuquerque of 95.9 FM, AM 610 KNML Albuquerque. The Sports Animal, proud to be a Cumulus media station.
Even if they're not that proud of us.
Now betting for the Sports Animal, your afternoon drive. Number 2, Menon, Van Nunley and Fred Slow. And Leon Dexter. Amory Castillo.
This is 2.
All right, Mike's going hot now.
One hour in the books, Duke City. One short hour till your, I don't know, favorite or second favorite voice in the biz, because I got one of them sitting right next to me. Jason Thomas, voice of the Ice Wolves, joining us. One short hour to Josh Sushon, voice of the Isotopes. Do you guys have like special dinner nights, like mystery clue nights or something, where all the voices of all the sport teams get together and like you just talk shop? Like how does that work?
We should. We don't, but we should.
You don't?
I've actually never met John, so this will be an experience.
So Isaiah, what Jason's doing right now is what we would call lying. They have secret groups. It's like a cult. They just can't talk about it. I tried to get him to break the fourth wall here, but he is strong and he is not going to snitch on his secret announcer cult. And
I just know what the #1 rule of the club is. That's
good
all I'm gonna
job.
say.
Well done, sir. Well done. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. Thursday, quitting time. Congratulations, friend of the show. If you're just hopping in your little special little Toyota Camry, just joining us, with congratulations. You made it through another day of work. We know your boss sucks, but guess what? 4 o'clock all the way up into 7 o'clock, depending on when the Isotopes come on, depending on when Monday night or Thursday night football comes on, depending on when the Lobos come on, 2 Men On is here for you to unwind through your day. Maybe get a giggle in. I don't know. Maybe talk some sports. 505-246-0610. Hit us up on the Sports Animal Hotline. Exact same number. Made it super easy on you. Sports Animal text line. We're talking some NFL this segment, coming in hot in the 5 o'clock hour, because I'm about as excited as one human can be for the NFL season. Hard Knocks is crushing it so far. I couldn't be more excited for this upcoming NFL season. A lot of great storylines. And the NFL, I don't care how old you are, right now is the most talented the NFL has ever been. I love me some nostalgia. It is my favorite flavor of ice cream, but the NFL has never been better than it is right now. And you're watching greatness every Monday, Thursday, Sunday, sometimes Saturday, sometimes Wednesday with rain out and snow outs.
Yeah, just about any day except Tuesday at this point.
Not Tuesdays, though.
No. Tuesday's the off day.
Tuesdays is for ad drops for fantasy football. That's all it's for. You can't play on Tuesday. That's the day I decide who I'm going to drop and pick up Wednesday morning to get out of the basement of my probably always last place fantasy football team.
It's unfortunate. I thought you would have been top of your league.
I am. I'm self-defacing right now. I'm always a champ.
Always.
So we're going to talk top wide receiver groups. And I think number one, there is no argument whatsoever that it's the Cincinnati
Cowboys.
Oh, God. Here we go with the Cowboys talk. Okay. You can argue. I'll let you argue. I'll let you state your case that number two can be the Cowboys, Isaiah. But there is no arguing who number one is. That's Joe Burrow's dudes, the Cincinnati Bengals. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, hands down.
Jamar Chase, you can make an argument he's the best in the league, period. T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, those two dudes are number ones on probably 24, 25 teams in the NFL. That's how loaded the Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver group is. So we're just going to X this one off.
Yeah.
And if you want to say anyone else is better than them, you're a liar. You need mental therapy and probably medication. This is the best group in the league, and it's not even close. Jason, who do you have number two?
I have the Philadelphia Eagles number two.
Okay.
I was raised in a Cowboys household, so that hurts me to say just a bit.
Eek.
I know. I apologize. But no, between A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, just from last season alone.
Sure.
I think without those two, I don't know that the Eagles are as good as they are. I know Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong. But I think those receivers were able to make those big catches in the big moments, and they had multiple breakout plays for 30-plus yards per game, and that was the difference maker.
Okay. I mean, that's a great answer. A.J. Brown's a dude. If he gets fed the ball enough this year and if he's healthy enough this year, you can make an argument that he might be the best receiver in the league by the end of next year. Excuse me, friend of the show. A stipulation I did not state before we started this is if your dude is talented enough, you can include tight ends. Okay. Because the talented tight ends, they're just as a wide receiver as any wide receiver. And the Eagles that you mentioned got a, top 5 guy? Dallas Goedert, 5'6", maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
And he's spry enough and fast enough that you can consider him a wide receiver. So they got an extra weapon at tight end. So the Eagles at number 2 is a great answer. I'll give you the real number 2 after we hear Isaiah try to blow his Cowboys horn right now.
So, if you want to give number 1 to Cincy,
100%.
you can do that. But I think if we go off potential, I think the Cowboys already right now are in second at least. But I think the potential for them to be the best is clearly there. You got CeeDee Lamb going into his 4th year. He's going to have a great year. You can already see the difference if you take a look at him in camp. Brandon Cooks being there is going to make CeeDee Lamb so much better just because CeeDee prefers to be in the slot. But with Dallas not having a speedster on the outside, CeeDee was having to be out there on the edges. So you got Brandon Cooks there. And then you got Michael Gallup coming off an ACL injury. This will be his 2nd season removed. I'll tell you now, you may not know who Michael Gallup is yet, but I guarantee this year he's going to have one of the top 10 catches of the NFL season. You take it to the bank now.
Anybody who plays fantasy football and has a second flex position knows who Michael Gallup is. Because you're going to rotate him in and out all year against crappy defenses. Look, the Dallas Cowboys, they're talented enough. CeeDee Lamb, he's a dude. Brandon Cooks, he's been underrated for years. He just keeps going from garbage team to garbage team, catching balls from garbage quarterback to garbage quarterback. And let me tell you, Isaiah, that's not going to stop this year. Because the Dallas Cowboys are garbage again, and Dak Prescott is garbage again. Congratulations on 8-9 or 9-8. If you keep playing Dallas, if you keep playing Dak Prescott, and you don't put in the real starting quarterback, Cooper Rush, Brandon Cook isn't going to get enough balls thrown anywhere near him to have a fantasy-worthy season or be included on this list. So I know you're a Cowboys fan. I'll give you your CeeDee Lamb props. He's a top 10 guy. But the problem is they're catching garbage, wobbling ducks from that loser Dak Prescott when they could be catching balls from our ginger savior, Cooper Rush. Boys, I'll give you the real number 2 answer on this list. The number 2 answer on this list is Travis Kelce and any 3 dudes who were wearing red and yellow catching balls from Patrick Mahomes. You can line up anyone in front of Patrick Mahomes, and he's going to throw you the ball right in the middle of your friggin' numbers. It doesn't matter if it's left-handed or right-handed or behind the back or friggin' sky hook like Kareem. Anybody who catches balls from Patrick Mahomes is going to look like the best receiver in the league because Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the history of the stupid league, and I don't care who's on the field. The number 2 receiver group in the NFL is Travis Kelce and 3 life human bodies. That's it.
So are we basing this off of a receiving core talent, or are we basing this off of the best quarterback in the game?
I think you know this program, exactly. Jason, and you just do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see this.
Okay.
I was questioning it. Now I have it confirmed. Don't worry.
Okay. So now we got Cincinnati number 1. Obviously, Travis Kelce and any 3 dudes that they pick from the crowd at number 2. Jason, who do you have number 3?
Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Yep.
All right, Isaiah.
Yep. I am a big fan of what the Cowboys have at the wide receiver core. You just heard it. I'm not going to spiel it again.
You do.
Except I have to add their tight end, rookie, Luke Shoemaker from Michigan. I think he is going to be a surprising difference maker for the Cowboys. He needs to replace Dalton Schultz. Not going to be an easy task, but I think he has the ability to do it, and I think he will because I think he's going to be underestimated. Everybody's going to be worried about your CeeDee Lamb. You're going to be worried about Brandon Cooks and probably Michael Gallup as he gets going throughout the season. And then, I have this new rookie tight end, and I think he's just going to take off.
Yeah, where's all that Luke Shoemaker talk, Isaiah?
He's coming off a foot injury, right? So I'm monitoring it. I'm looking at the situation. He had a plantar fasciitis issue, and I think he'll be playing if not this week for sure the next one. So I'd love to see it. But Ferguson looked awesome in their last game. He made all the catches I would have liked to see him make, and he's already jumping over guys. So as of right now, Shoemaker's got to take that job from Ferguson.
Look, Luke Shoemaker isn't going to do anything this year. He will be a cobbler like his last name because he's not going to be in the league next year because that loser throwing him balls is going to be throwing more ducks at him than friggin' the guy behind the screen on Nintendo's Duck Hunt. I stumbled through that one, but you get the drift.
I didn't know you were such a Prescott hater. I had no idea.
I knew you were going.
It's not
I hate Dak.
It's not as much Prescott hate as me being basically a genius level prognosticator and realizing that Cooper Rush is the real prize here in the quarterback room for the Dallas Cowboys. You're both wrong. It's the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, dude. Tyreek Hill, the fastest guy in the league, doesn't drop anything. I don't care if he's 5'4". I don't care if Tyreek Hill can't get on roller coasters at Six Flags over Miami. He's one of the best players in the league, and he's got the best number 2, Jalen Waddle. I don't even care who the third guy is in the Miami Dolphins. Based on the strength of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, that's the third best wide receiver group.
You know, I actually hadn't gone yet for the third one. I was gonna go with Miami. I was gonna go with Miami for the reasons that you said.
All
Got
right.
pure speed over there, and we'll see if Tua can stay healthy.
Football savant Isaiah Johnson is always right when it comes to saying my examples exactly. More wide receiver group talk when we get back. 505-246-0610. Let's hear your hot takes. Who's got the best wide receiver group? And when we get back, we're going to do the worst wide receiver group and my favorite, the most overrated wide receiver group. You're listening to Two Men On 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Clear.
Traffic continuing to move slow right now in a couple of places westbound on I-40. The first between Wyoming and Louisiana. Then a little further down, I-40 westbound from the interchange to Coors. Traffic moving slow there as well. Then eastbound on I-40, we're dealing with slowdowns between the interchange and Carlisle. Southbound on I-25 right now, we've got congestion starting as you approach Osuna. That's going to go all the way down to Candelaria. Be careful there. Also westbound on Paseo from Jefferson to the river. Traffic's moving slow there also. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
The opening drive with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
That week is just going to be full of everybody asking Broncos about Hackett, and you get a shot at your own coach. And you get Aaron with a chance to defend his buddy, Nathaniel Hackett. First of all, Russell Wilson.
And Russell Wilson, that
baggage
is on him too. He took advantage of a rookie hit.
I haven't heard it put that way, but that might be why I feel the way I feel about Russell Wilson. I didn't really realize.
Weekday mornings from 7 till 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting station rules for recurring moderated text marketing messages. Message may apply. Replace stop.
Morning, you're heading to the airport?
Yep, I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years. I enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. You get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Earn cash back every time you buy gas. Text station to 200-300 for an exclusive link to download the free Upside app and get an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. Cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just text station to 200-300 to download the free Upside app and get an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus. Text the word station to 200-300. Text station to 200-300.
Casino at the Downs hosts Hot August Cash. Monday through Friday, noon to 10 p.m. 3 winners every 2 hours. Each win $150 cash. Enjoy random promos daily. Downs Derby weekends. Great dining and more. Only at Casino at the Downs, Louisiana Central. Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino is hiring, and some positions include a cash bonus. Work at a fun environment as security, slot attendant, players club, and many more, including seasonal live horse racing. Join the winning team. Visit abqdowns.com/careers for listings.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver, leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets. Order online at metalsupermarkets.com.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts.
Isaiah.
Pull up just a little bit. And headlights.
We'll do overrated.
Get the
When we
right
get
parts
back,
at the right prices. eBay Motors.
I'll say
Let's
the
rock.
honorable mentions.
Okay.
To be
And
on
then
Friday
me and
on
you
the
will do
opening drive
overrated.
from an overlooked
And then
quarterback coming
Jason's
out of
going to do
Albuquerque to a national
underrated
champion to an
because
MVP
he's
and a
a
bowl game.
New England
Okay,
homer.
cool.
Quarterback Diego Pavia at
Okay.
7 a.m.
All right, Mike's going hot now.
Having a lot of fun with it down here at Red Door downtown in between 5th and 6th. Beautiful Route 66 in historic downtown Albuquerque, New Mexico. I don't know if you're looking, but right here to the left of my computer, I have myself a Teller tea, my friend, made by Safe House Distilling and Teller Vodka, New Mexico's vodka. It's the drink of the summer, and I can't get enough of it. And I mean that literally. I have a problem.
But it's delicious, though, so it's okay.
Yes, it is. Welcome back to Two Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. Manfred Fitzgerald Slow is across the street getting ready for Duke City Championship Wrestling. Lucky for me, I got one voice of the Ice Wolves, Jason Thomas, joining me.
Yes, thank you for having me. I really appreciate the invite. I don't think I've told you that yet.
Hey, anytime, my man. Back at the studio, super producer Isaiah Johnson. We're talking a little more NFL wide receiver group talk. And this is one of my favorite things about the NFL season coming up, because I get to just say whatever the hell I think, and it is weeks away before I'm proven wrong. So all of my speculation, all of my prognostication, you write all this down, and then 505-246-0610 verbally accost me on the Sports Animal Hotline when you prove me wrong later. We did the best wide receiver groups last segment. Number one, it's the Cincinnati Bengals. Don't at me. They're the best, and it's not even close. The Eagles and the Dolphins, 2 and 3, make an argument. I mean, the real answer here, besides the Bengals, is anybody catching the ball from Patrick Mahomes. Give me a guy who works at Kinko's. Give me the late night manager at Allsup's, and then give me friend of the show, Mailman. As long as you get the line, those three dudes up next to Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes is throwing balls to him, that's the best wide receiver group. Honorable mentions in that group, San Francisco 49ers, fantastic. They got their best running back is a wide receiver. Their best wide receivers are running back, so that's weird. They also got George Kittle. Seahawks, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and their new first-round wide receiver, JSN. They're going to be deep. Look, fine, Isaiah. Your Dallas Cowboys, they're decent, okay? Minnesota Vikings, Justin Jefferson, and any two dudes, they line up next to him. Same thing with the Raiders, Devontae Adams, and any two warm bodies next to him. That's going to be good. The Bills are strong. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are always good. And it's kind of a big fall off after that. Los Angeles Chargers, you got Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, but neither of these guys are never on the field. And then we got just sheer mediocrity all the way to the bottom. And I'll give you the most overrated group right now, and that's the Minnesota Vikings. Justin Jefferson, fine, all right? This dude is talented, one-handed catches, behind the back, whatever, but he's a compiler, all right? Because they're always behind in the fourth quarter. And the most average quarterback in the history of the NFL, Kirk Cousins, he has to keep chucking it up to him because there's no other way to win a football game besides chucking it up to Justin Jefferson. And there's not really anyone else. TJ Hawkinson, the tight end, slightly above average, but he's wildly overrated. And there's a huge drop-off. So miss me when you start talking about your Minnesota Vikings, blah, 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 blah. Isaiah, who do you have as the most overrated?
It's funny you say the Vikings first because they were one of my options to go with. I agree with you, your Justin Jefferson take. And, hey, me as a Cowboy fan, I can speak to this because to Trevon Diggs' defense, I'm always having to point at what happened the last time Diggs and Jefferson faced each other. And Diggs held him to 2 catches for about 27 yards. And that's 2 games combined. And this is a guy This is a guy that's, on pace to be one of the best receivers of all time, and he just so happens to put up goose eggs when he plays Dallas. But my overrated, I'm going to go with the Jets. The reason I'm going to go with the Jets is because I didn't see anything out of their receivers, individual receivers last year, to believe that they're going to be one of the top teams, top receiving groups. But just because Aaron Rodgers has joined the team, I'm seeing the Jets getting Super Bowl predictions. And I just don't think that their receivers can keep this up. I don't think the receivers are good enough to give A-Rod an easy first year, but maybe that's just me.
I mean, the Jets, they don't have a Devontae Adams. They don't have, overrated Justin Jefferson on their team. They got Rookie of the Year, Garrett Wilson. He's pretty good. But I'll give you that the Jets are overrated, but they're going to look pretty damn good next year because they have Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball. They wildly overpaid for Alan Lazard and Mecole Hardman, though. Those are not $10 million plus a year guys. Jason, you said
those are the two I'm looking at.
You got a team that's underrated.
I do, and I'm quite biased on this. I'm not
Are
going to
you
sugarcoat it.
now?
I am. I'm going to admit it
Okay.
before I even say it. It's the New England Patriots.
Blech.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead, hate on me all you want. Patriots lost their number one receiver, Jacoby Myers. They go out and go get Juju Smith-Schuster, who I think is going to have a bounce back year. I don't know if we're going to go all the way back to.
You can't bounce back from being Super Bowl champion. He did pretty good.
Did he have that type of impact though?
Fair.
Like, okay, you were on the team that won the Super Bowl, but what did you do the entire season? So that's what I mean when I say a bounce back year for him. I see him taking over that number one spot, maybe helping out that little guy at quarterback that's supposed to be the next best thing. I'm still not sold on him, so I'm not saying his name.
Do you mean back then they didn't want me? Now I'm hot. They all on me. Mac Jones, that one?
Yeah, that one. It's if you're doing great, you're the next Tom Brady, and if you're not doing great, get him out of here for Bailey Zappi.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I can't stand the quarterback situation and how the fans react to it.
You're very wrong because the New England Patriots have the exact problem that you just stated, that they got to catch balls from Mac Jones. The only way Mac Jones will be effective is if you have two 1,000-yard rushers on your roster and no one's expecting you to throw the ball and you sunshine on a dog ass 3 or 4 times a game, throw up a play action pass and one of your dudes catch it. It's going to be a rough year for the New England Patriots. Bill Belichick will never have to work as hard as he will this year with this group of losers that he has to turn into something from nothing.
Well, he's on the right track to do that because we have a top 5 running back in the league in Ezekiel Elliott now. Thank you so much. Yep.
Oh,
you knew he was getting mentioned.
Somebody.
I know Isaiah's a big fan of him too, so he knows I'm serious.
Oh my God, we need a nurse here. Can we get a doctor or a nurse? I think Jason's having a stroke.
I got the Zeke jersey at home.
Ezekiel Elliott's a top 5 running back?
He will be this year.
Oh,
Mark my words,
God.
number 1 pick in fantasy. You won't regret it.
He's not a top 5 guy who wears stomachless shirts.
Yeah.
He's the only one, and he's still not the top 5 of that.
He went back to his number 15 from his Ohio State days. He's going back to feed me.
I did notice that.
Yeah, he's going back to the old days.
Okay,
you write it down and you let me know. You come to whatever game you want and you say, Jason, I'm sorry, you were right back then in August.
Okay, what is a successful season for New England Patriots who will he will be released by week 8, Ezekiel Elliott? What's a successful season? 30 yards a game?
I was hoping for 40 to 50.
6 carries, 18 yards. Like that's a good game for Ezekiel Elliott.
I think
If Zeke goes out and gets 75, if he goes out and gets 75, 80 a game, I will be shocked.
It's 75 to 80 a game, probably averaging 0.6, 0.7 touchdowns a game. That's kind of what I'm expecting from him. I think we're going to use him a lot on the goal line if we can get there. That's big if, considering Mac Jones is quarterback. But I really think he's bouncing back. I think he wants to prove the Cowboys wrong. Say, hey, look, you made a wrong decision on me, so I'm going to go crazy this year.
I'm going to tell you
I want to see Zeke can pull off a long one. My fault, man. I just want to see if Zeke can pull off a long one. I just want to see him pull off a 40-yarder, 50-yarder, just one more time.
Just one. And then retire?
Yeah, why not? We play the Jets.
Well,
and their
hopefully that
defense
leads
isn't that
to
good,
more.
so there's a couple of games right there he can do it.
All right, we're going to talk about the worst, all right? And it's any 4 or 3 dudes that the Arizona Cardinals line up. I don't care who you think has a worse wide receiver core. Whoever is playing for the Cardinals is going to be the worst because they're not going to win a game all year. Their WR2, possibly WR3, his name is Greg Dortch.
You're not a big fan of the Dortch.
Greg Dortch. That sounds like a name that middle school kids make up to make fun of somebody. You're a Greg Dortch. Are you serious? Who are these people?
I agree. They will be one of the worst, but I think it's going to be a coin flip between them and Houston.
Okay, Houston is awful too, but at least they got Robert Woods. I know who Robert Woods is. At least the Carolina Panthers got Adam Thielen. At least nope. Titans don't have Treylon Burks anymore. Never mind. Okay, the Titans are going to be pretty bad. But the Arizona Cardinals are going to be the worst, and it's not even close.
It's going to be bad. I do think Houston will rival them for the worst.
Oh, you're not wrong, because I think their rookie quarterback is also overrated. Speaking of overrated, how about every front office move the Yankees have made in the past 3 years, leading to an absolute dumpster fire? The Yankees suck, and I am here for it.
Oh, I am too. I'm so ready. I've been waiting on this segment for the last hour and a half, Van.
You're listening to 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal.
This report is sponsored
All clear.
by Motors. You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the green check, you know that part will fit. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. It's right. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
For traffic right now, we are dealing with congestion westbound on Paseo. That's going to start at I-25, and it's going to go all the way down into Coors. Things also moving slow in a couple of spots westbound I-40, the first between Wyoming and Louisiana, then a little bit further down. Starting back up around the interchange, you're going to see slowdowns, and those will go into Coors. Meanwhile, eastbound on I-40, we've got slowdowns from the interchange to San Mateo. Also, north of the city, I-25 between Albuquerque and Santa Fe, traffic's moving up to speed in both directions.
This report is brought to you by Malloy Los Lunas.
During the Labor Day sales event at Malloy Ram and Los Lunas, get up to $5,000 cash back on a new 2023 Ram 1500. Plus, current owners get another $1,000. Offer in September 5th, so go to MalloyRam.com for details today.
Always see dealer for details. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
Look at the under in Boston. I'm Ed Egros here to help you beat the books with BetQL. The Red Sox are flirting with a playoff run, but the clock is ticking. Boston is 5 games back in the wild card race and hosting the lowly Royals. The BetQL model has the total circled in this one. BetQL has under 10.5 as a 5-star best bet. I'm Ed Egros. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetQL app today and download the BetMGM.
Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver. Leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets. Order online at metalsupermarkets.com.
Grandma Yahtzee here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interest in mind. And Fiesta Subaru is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help.
Sorry for that cutoff, by the way, Van. There's like a 2-second delay, so sometimes I can't really tell that you're getting ready to say something.
See us today at Fiesta Subaru on
no
Lomas,
worries.
or
Yeah,
start driving now at FiestaSubaru.com.
Do you have heart failure and often hear
those stomach issues?
Okay, for sure.
You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa? Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist. Ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATP-RCM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that's worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You know that Big Bargain detergent is 80% water, right?
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Pass me the intercom thing.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Don't pay for water, pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods.
Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Lobo fans, football season tickets are on sale now for as low as $86. That's less than $15 a game. The Lobos have an attractive home schedule this season, which features in-state rivals Mexico State on September 16th.
This is the same
This season will
data that
feature a
we
new
got last
state-of-the-art
time.
light show during games.
Apparently, you're only
On-field
cracking
DJ,
up back in our
increased tailgate
ears
atmosphere, and
here
much,
at Red
much
Door,
more.
and it's coming out clear on the
Join
radio.
us at University Stadium this fall by visiting golobos.com/ticket today.
Take a small
All right, sorry, say that again.
your child
We're
and
hearing
get
a
them
lot of
caught up
cracking
on their
when
vaccines.
you're talking during the segments,
Just
like your voice will
helmets,
skip out.
seatbelts, and all the other
Okay.
fearless
But
child
that's just
safe.
here
Vaccines
in
are
our
a
ears.
proven and effective
I
way
asked a
to
few people,
strengthen
and it
your
sounds
child's
good
immune system,
on
protect
radio
them from
and on
illness,
the live
set them
stream.
up for a bright future. Don't
Okay.
make an appointment to get your child caught up on their vaccines
All right, for sure.
at vaccinenm.org/kids.
This is where New Mexico comes for sports. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The
All right, Mike's going hot.
Duke City, we here. Oh, where's here, you ask? Jason Thomas, voice of the Ice Wolves. We're at Red Door downtown on historic Route 66, right in between 5th and 6th
This
Street. Having a lot of
report
fun
is
with it.
sponsored by Dairy
Giving
Queen.
out some drinks, having some Teller teas, talking some sports, giving some high fives. You signed what? How many? Like 8 autographs? Ice Wolves fans are just coming in and out.
I think I'm at double digits now.
You didn't bring enough 8x10s, did you?
I did not. But
Yes.
you know what? You have tripled me in the autograph department. So, I'm in the presence of greatness is what I'm getting at.
Well, I appreciate you lying about me on air. I've only taken one selfie. That's it. One selfie with the friends of the show. But that's all right. That's all right. I'll tell you what, I got one more season 2 2-men on shirt here. If you're going down the Duke City Championship Wrestling tonight, on your way, stop by Red Door. I got one more XL, and this is a special thing right here. This is the next to last 2-men on shirt from our season 2 gear. That's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Because starting next week, we got our 2-men on season 3 merch coming out, and it's an absolute banger of a shirt. Super stoked for that. It's a tidal wave of appreciation for our merch. I love being out in the community and like seeing someone randomly in a 2-men on shirt or having a 2-men on sticker on the back of their car. Thank you so much for your support, friends of the show. Slide into the DMs at TalkABQ on Instagram or just Google 2-men on. We're on everything. Don't be shy. You need a new sticker pack? You want a new t-shirt? Hit us up. We're friendly.
You are friendly.
I am friendly. I'm nice.
Fred's friendly. Fred is friendly too.
Yeah.
Friendly Fred. Sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Most of the time. Occasionally.
Catch Freddie Fame tonight at the historic El Rey Theater as he is one of the owners. He's in the ownership group, and he is the voice of Duke City Championship Wrestling. Going to have a lot of fun with it. I'm just the biggest fan of Hobo Hank, and I'm not scared to show it. I'll tell anyone that I love me some Hobo Hank. It's sold out. The floor is sold out, but I'm going to sneak you in.
Okay.
Because just like I mentioned earlier, you're so wildly, regionally, moderately famous here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and your fandom shows from all these high fives that I've been giving out from Ice Wolves fans. My palm kind of hurts. It's a little red, but I appreciate the love and support. The love and support for Yankees Nation, though, has gone way down because for the first time in over 30 years, they're below 500.
I love it.
You can't throw enough money at this garbage front office and this garbage lineup. This proves that there's a new day in baseball, baby. You got to draft right. You got to recruit right. You got to sign internationally right. You got to develop. You can't just throw money at the problem. The days of the Yankees buying championships is over, and I am here for it. All right, first off, let me get this off my chest. Major League Baseball is better when the Yankees are doing good. When the Yankees are in it, because if you're not a Yankees fan, everyone's against you. I know that now because I'm an Astros fan. We'll get into that later. But it's the Yankees versus the world because every year, except for this year, boom, highest payroll. Boom, most free agent signings. They throw money at the problem, and for decades and decades, it has worked out for Yankees fan. Not anymore. New day in baseball. The Yankees are under 500 for the first time since 1995.
60-61. 14 games back of the division, 6.5 from the wild card, 2-8 in their last 10 on a 5-game losing streak. You're an Astros fan. I'm a Rangers fan.
Yep. Sorry about that.
No, yeah, I'm sorry for you as well. Don't worry. Trash cans. But we said it in the break. The one thing we can agree on is how great it is to see the Yankees doing poorly. And yes, probably overall for baseball and the attention, it's better when the Yankees are doing good.
Yeah.
But for it to be the first time in 30 years for them to struggle, it's just a breath of fresh air. There are new teams at the top. I mean, the Orioles are leading that division. The Rangers and the Astros are battling. The Twins are in first place in the Central. It's a new wave. I don't know if this is going to be a one-year thing for these new teams or if this is the next 5 to 10 years and the Yankees are going to have to fully rebuild.
The 2010s were the first decade in the history of baseball where the New York Yankees did not win a championship. They were in the playoffs a lot. They were over 500 every year. They were competitive. Like I said, they kept buying teams. They kept buying free agents, made them competitive every year. But their reign of terror is over. It's not since Derek Jeter became an all-star that they have been under 500. Think about that. Derek Jeter played over 20 years in Major League Baseball above 500 every year in the playoffs almost every year. And it's been that long since Derek Jeter was a rookie that they haven't been under 500.
I'm going to age myself here.
Please do.
I was born in 1995, so this is the first time in my lifetime I've seen this. So when you say it's been 30 years, you're not joking.
It's been
so long. It's all I've known is good. Yankees are good. Yankees are good. Yankees buy. Yankees buy. And like you said, it's finally stopped working, and they are in shambles right now.
And in their defense, they are under 500 for the first time since 1995. But there still would only be 2 games out of the AL Central.
Of course they would. It's a Central.
It's the AL Central. AL Central sucks. But also the Yankees suck, and I'm here for it. You can't, like I said, you can't just throw money at the problem. Look, out of the past 5 years, the only free agent acquisition that has worked out is Garrett Cole. Mm-hmm. He's a stud. There's no doubt about it. He will 100% go out on the mound and dominate as long as he is healthy. He is a no-brainer. Cost him $50 million a year, but it's a no-brainer. Okay, they developed one superstar. And again, I can't hate this guy. Nicest guy on earth, set the American League home run record last year. Aaron Judge. You can't root against that guy. Basically, everyone else can sniff a bag of farts, and I hate all of you.
Except Anthony Rizzo.
Is okay. Why?
Okay. Well, I told you I grew up watching a lot of Chicago Cubs baseball.
Okay.
You know this, Van. Don't act like this is brand new. You know this information. And so when Anthony Rizzo was part of that 2016 team, so I hated to see him go to the Yankees, but I want to be successful. And then they, in my opinion, mishandled a concussion that he had, and he struggled. And I think that's part of why they're having an issue, because one of their superstars, the guys that are supposed to be doing it for him, is not. And I think there's been something wrong with Anthony Rizzo for a while.
Gave all the money to Giancarlo, don't call me Mike Stanton, Harrison Bader, DJ LeMahieu, Gleyber Torres, Anthony Rizzo, Carlos Rodon. The list goes on. Bust after bust after bust. There's not enough money in Manhattan to make the Yankees relevant. Blow it all up.
And I'm not the fastest guy alive either. I think I can beat Giancarlo Stanton in a race.
Okay.
I mean, did you see him trying
It's hard
to
to
score for
run.
the
It's
second?
hard to run one-legged.
Is that what he is? Is that what his excuse is right now?
He's got one good leg.
Then take care of it, because you look like you're not trying. And in a team that's struggling, and you have the history that the Yankees do.
He's a Yankee, but he's only got one good leg, so basically he's a pirate.
Oh, he should go to Pittsburgh.
He should go to Pittsburgh. Unload him and that contract. When we get back, more NFL talk, and then, basically my best friend in the whole world. I idolize him. I want to be like him when I grow up. The most talented guy I know, Josh Sushan, joins us at 6 o'clock. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal.
This report is sponsored.
All clear.
Hey DQ fans, the Caramel Fudge Cheesecake Blizzard treat has arrived. It's so wonderful that you won't want to miss out. Indulge your cheesecake cravings and the heaping helping of fudge and caramel too. Try it today, only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Traffic right now, westbound on I-40 continues to be a trouble spot this afternoon. Things moving slow in a couple of different areas. The first between Wyoming and Louisiana, and of course that's where they're doing that road work. So watch yourself through there. A little further down, though, westbound on I-40, we had crash cleanup near 4th Street. That is affecting your right lane. You're going to see slowdowns starting back around the interchange. Then eastbound on I-40 right now, slowdowns from the interchange to Carlisle. Southbound on I-25, things still moving a bit slow. Osuna to Montgomery. And westbound on Paseo, Jefferson to Coors, dealing with congestion there.
This message brought to you by San Diego Golf Club.
Our state's best golf course, voted on by golfers, is San Diego Golf Club. Committed to providing the best experience and best conditions to golfers of all levels. There's nothing like it. Visit sandiegogolf.com for the best available rates and to book your tee time today. We'll see you on the tee.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
The opening drive with Jeff Simieta and JJ Buck.
Richard Pitino is the third-year head coach of Global Men's Basketball.
The beauty of sports, it's not that my job is any more important than anyone else's. Everybody's job is important, but it is a great lesson in life. Just we have no idea rules, the way this thing is all evolving, what the future holds. So I'm grateful for today. I'm appreciative of the opportunity that has been given to me, and that's all that we have. Nothing else is promised.
Weekday mornings from 7 till 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
In today's home mortgage market, it's important for consumers looking for a mortgage to shop around. The reason, we have just come out of the lowest rates in history, and many homeowners jumped in to take advantage, and mortgage lenders across the country were making huge profits. Today, the mortgage volume is a fraction of that, and these mortgage companies are in a panic with profits falling off the cliff. So what are they doing? They're charging borrowers interest rates and fees much higher than they deserve. That's because the higher rate and higher fees, the more profit. In other words, the lenders are maximizing profits on the backs of consumers. They are counting on borrowers not shopping that mortgage around. Indigo Mortgage will always try to get the borrower the lowest rate with the lowest fees, and we have saved homeowners many thousands of dollars over the years. So shop and shop local with your trusted local mortgage company, Indigo Mortgage, 836-5700, or on the net at indigomortgage.net, NMLS 231962 and 188 before.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver, leaving plenty of time for the important things.
I don't want to say that on the
Opening a
radio.
nice cooled can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets. Order online at metalsupermarkets.com.
Ray Magliotti here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights.
Awesome.
They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
You know, I've always loved a good
for
meatball
Ortega.
sub and a
Getting the
really
job
great
with Global
pizza.
Football.
In fact, I've dreamt for years of a land where pizza and meatball subs could coexist in harmony, that somehow I could eat them both at the same time. Well, today my mind exploded because Firehouse Subs just made that dream a reality with the pepperoni pizza meatball sub. It's a mashup of Italian meatballs, marinara, extra provolone, crispy pepperoni, and Italian seasoning on a toasted garlic roll. Firehouse Subs, I love you. Perhaps more than any woman I've ever loved in my entire life. Don't ask. Order on the Firehouse Subs app, and a medium pepperoni pizza meatball sub is just $6. Then pick it up at the Rapid Rescue to Go station inside of Firehouse Subs near you. 5 ABQ locations, including the newest on Paseo east of I-25 in front of Lowe's, and also in Santa Fe. Even better news, Firehouse Subs is Friday's sweet deal. Drop by our station website Friday from 9 a.m. till they sell out and get $50 in Firehouse Subs gift certificates for just $25. Extinguish your hunger at Firehouse Subs. Eat more subs, save more lives.
The Sports Animal is now 27 years old. What we're saying is, it's now not creepy to tell us how good we look for our age. Just remember, we're not that kind of station. Creeper.
Mike going hot.
Nearly blew through 2 hours, Jason Thomas, voice of the Ice Wolves.
I don't know how that's even possible.
It's crazy, isn't it? You just don't feel it when it's in motion. When it's happening, you don't notice. You get towards the end, and bam,
Now
here we are laying next to each other in a pool of sweat, lighting a cigarette, just looking deeply into each other's eyes. Wait, what?
I didn't hear that.
Friend of the show, I promised you NFL talk, but I got a bone to pick. Jason Thomas, you're like just one of the most talented dudes I know. You're so passionate and hardworking and such a nice guy. You're the type of guy that I want to see succeed, and the type of guy that I just flat out root for in everything that you do. By the way, you're listening to 2 Men on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal. But you got some mental health issues. I would say a borderline disability.
Wow.
And what I'm talking about is your fandom of the Texas Rangers. Are you okay? Like,
this is coming from an Astros fan?
This is a safe space. You could tell me who hurt you and why you're doing this. Like, do you hate your dad? Like, why are you a Rangers fan? What happened?
First of all, my dad's a Rangers fan too.
So oh no, it's generational.
It's in the family. It's in my blood.
Oh God, this is awful.
And you can't help but root for the team from where you're from.
I was hoping that you're going to be the last one of your family name.
It's going on forever.
Oh, gross.
Because you know what? We might not have a World Series title yet, but at least we can say we didn't win one by using trash cans.
Okay, well, the Texas Rangers want to be the Houston Astros so bad, they made their new stadium look like a trash can.
Not even. Have you seen it? All right, I'm taking you to Texas.
It literally looks like a
hockey.
trash can
No,
on
it
the
doesn't.
outside. It looks like a trash can.
I'm taking you to Texas before hockey season. I'm showing you this, and you're going to change your mind. I'm coming back on air, and you're going to apologize.
Okay, blah, blah, blah. You grew up in the area. It's a generational thing. We got one thing in common.
Yeah.
Our love of Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan's fantastic.
That's nice.
Hands down.
He's one of the best dudes in the history of the game.
Honestly, he is. Can't argue that whatsoever.
And our fandom crossed over on that. But finally, after spending some money, doing some really good development,
yep,
making the right moves, the Texas Rangers are relevant again.
Yeah,
and the Rangers-Astros rivalry is relevant again. How much fun are you having with this year?
It's a blast. I've told you before, being from the Dallas area, the Dallas-Houston rivalry in any sport, when both teams are good and hating each other, it is my favorite thing to watch. I will make hours of my day available just to watch the Dallas-Houston rivalry in whatever sport. So, yeah, I'm having a blast. Obviously, as a Rangers fan, as we've struggled the last several years, it's nice. Hey, we're back. We had Jacob deGrom. He hasn't played 80% of the year up to this point, and we're still in first place. So I have a slight question for you here.
Okay.
The Rangers have been in first place or had a share of first place every single day of this season, from game one to we're in game 100, whatever now.
Right.
The Astros have not.
Correct.
How are the Astros still projected for division favorites, World Series favorites over the Rangers? It's like nobody's putting respect on the team that's been there in first place all season. What do the Rangers have to do? Do we have to beat the Astros in a playoff series to get that respect finally? Is it going to come in game 182 when we clinch the division? What is it going to take?
I think, you answered the question yourself. The Astros, it's a been there, done that kind of thing. No team in the history of baseball has made 6 straight American League Championship Series. The Astros are going to make it 7 this year. Like, they are the favorite because it's a been there, done that. The success and the track record is there. And the Rangers are the new kids on the block now. They're on the rise now. And the Astros, while the Rangers are 3 games up, no team in baseball has dealt with superstar injuries like the Astros have this year. And I want to continue this conversation and piggyback on it when we get back with Josh Sushan of the Isotopes. One more segment to go before we hand it on over to Josh Sushan in the Isotopes. Had a blast today at Red Door Brewing. Get down here. One more 2 Men On t-shirt. The literally last season 2 2 Men On t-shirt. Are you a fan of nostalgia? Are you a fan of limited edition shirts? Well, boy, do I have the t-shirt for you. I'll tell you what, I'll even number it and autograph it. Josh Sushan when we get back. 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal.
Clear.
Traffic right now, crash cleanup westbound on I-40 near 4th Street. That is affecting your right lane. You're going to see slowdown starting back as you approach the interchange. Be careful going through there. Also westbound on I-40 between Wyoming and Louisiana, traffic continuing to move slow there. Then eastbound I-40, you're seeing slowdowns between the interchange and San Mateo. Things still moving a bit slow right now southbound on I-25 between Osuna and Montgomery. And westbound on Paseo, Jefferson to the river, dealing with some slow spots there also. Your neighborhood Napa Auto Care Center is scheduling service appointments. Visit autocarenm.com for a list of independently owned shops that offer a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty. Find a shop near you today at autocarenm.com. This report is sponsored by Napa Auto Care Center's Business Development Group. If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match, only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQL.
ZQL, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQL nights. Explore our products at ZQL.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interest in mind. And Fiesta Subaru is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Subarus arriving daily, you're going to love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Subaru from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Subaru on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestasubaru.com.
Gambling is more than slot machines and table games. Today, it also includes betting on sports at casinos, sports books, online wagering, at game day gatherings, and on the golf course. Make a game plan for sports betting.
Josh is not here yet, but I will let you know when he is. He said he's going to
Said
call
he's
here
calling
in a
at
second.
5:58.
Family members gambling,
which is
reach
right
out. The Responsible Gaming Association funds confidential help for problem gambling. Call the helpline or visit rgann.org.
KG40BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM, AM 610 KNML Albuquerque. The Sports Animal, proud to be a Cumulus media station, even if they're not that proud of us.
Now betting for the Sports Animal.
Okay, here he is.
Go.
Your afternoon drive. Number 2, Menon, Van Nunley, and Fred Slow. And in the on Dexter,
Amory Castillo. This is two.
You guys are going hot now?
Nunley and Fred Slow.
Two hours in the books, one short segment to go. If you're not already down here at Red Door Brewing, beautiful Route 66, downtown Albuquerque, toasting a Teller tea with the boys and heading across the street to also beautiful and historic El Rey Theater to check out Duke City Championship Wrestling. First bell at 7:30. Entertainment by the band Man High starts literally right now, Jason. Isn't that exciting?
That's very exciting. I can't wait to run over there.
Some music going on from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, the pre-fight ceremonies start, and first bell at 7:30. It's a school night, so they're going to have you out of there before 10 o'clock, put the kids to bed. Going to be a absolutely amazing evening as the road to the championship starts tonight at the El Rey Theater. Don't miss a second of the Duke City Championship Wrestling action. Jason Thomas, voice of the Ice Wolves, sat in Freddie Fame's stead. Thanks for coming on the program today.
Thanks for having me. It's been a blast as always, Van.
You did a way above crappy job.
I'll take it.
I wouldn't say any negative adjective when describing your performance today.
Thank you. I went all out for this. I napped all day in preparation for this 2-hour radio show.
On the other hand, those Isotopes, ugh, woof. That was a rough one last night, Sushan. Josh Sushan, voice of the Isotopes, joining us. Did you get a wink of sleep last night, my friend? Were you just having nightmares about chihuahuas, roaming rows of chihuahuas attacking you in Borellis?
Well, you know how most people don't remember their dreams or their nightmares? I had forgotten all about them until you brought it up. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. You know, I had immediately forgotten it. Now, all of a sudden, I'm remembering all of them.
Bummer. I am so sorry and sorry to rub it in. But, man, that was one for the books and one you want to wipe from the books.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times you'll say things like they've scored at least one run in every inning. But for El Paso, it was, well, they've scored at least 2 runs in every inning through 6. Now, we're all about silver linings, right? Going into tonight, Isotopes pitchers have not allowed a hit or a run in 3 innings.
Okay, well, glass half full kind of guy, I am super into that. Josh Sushan.
No, seriously, El Paso scored 20 runs on 24 hits, and they did all of it in the first 6 innings. They only had 1 base runner in the final 3 innings.
You know, last week in Round Rock, the bullpen kind of gave up some big innings, and now those are them dudes. Our bullpen kind of crushed it at the end of the game last night. So that's this little silver lining after this shellacking, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, yesterday it was starting pitching and the early relieving in the middle innings that all did not go well. And then, I don't know, maybe El Paso got tired in the last 3 innings or something like that, I mean, here's the thing about baseball, though. It's still just 1 loss, and so much of baseball is, all right, here we go, let's play tomorrow, right? We're not going to sit around and stew all about it for a week. And I actually think, I know this is kind of crazy, but sometimes it's easier to wash off the really bad losses than it is like a 1-run loss. 1-run loss, you sit around and you think, if we just would have done this. You went to probably one thing in every inning and say, if we would have done this, we could have won this game. When you lose 20-7, you go, all right, it just wasn't our day, right? Tip your cap, they did it. All right, here we go. And it's kind of easier to turn the page on it, and even from a broadcasting standpoint, I'll tell you this, I actually prefer a 20-7 game more than like 11-1 because there's so much offense, even with no offense in the last 3 innings, there's just so much offense, so many different things that you can bring up and kind of preview and discuss and all that kind of stuff that those games are a little bit easier actually than just like a garden variety 9-1 loss.
Except for a Kenny G saxophone solo, the crack of the bat is probably one of my favorite sounds. And there was a lot of cracks of the bat last night for both teams. Just one of the teams had a little more. So, Josh, you know me as what I would like to think of myself as a nice guy, a man of peace. But this Brandon Dixon guy, what are we going to do with him? You want to do like some Tanya Harding stuff? You say, you call it.
Before I answer that question, let me give you some numbers to back up your assertion about the number of hard hit balls. So we have all of these cameras that give us all these fancy things, right? So in yesterday's game, there was 21 balls that were hit that had an exit velocity of 100 miles an hour or more. 21. El Paso had 14. The Isotopes had 7. Like, that is a lot of really loud crack of the bat that we had yesterday throughout. Most of those were doubles and home runs and singles. There were some lineouts, there were some groundouts. But 21 times, Van, somebody hit the ball with an exit velocity of over 100 miles an hour, including the aforementioned Brandon Dixon, who had a 111.7 miles per hour off the bat.
All right. Now, I mean, that begs the question. Did anyone check these cheater chinchillas bats? No? I mean, there's got to be. I mean, did anyone?
I did not. That is not my responsibility. No, that's
the Corks, the Albuquerque Cork store is probably out of
He's really never. Yeah, he's never. No, I was just about to say that he's never really had like a lengthy chance in the major leagues to stick anywhere. He's been a good player for a long time. He went to Japan a few years ago. He did something really rare here last year. As a visiting player, he hit a walk-off home run. And that's because we had a game that was rained out in El Paso, so we had to make it up here, and they were the designated home team because the game was in El Paso. So he definitely likes hitting here. It was just the strangest thing when the visiting team hits a walk-off home run last year. Dixon did that, and look, he's a good ball player. They got to figure out a way to get him out because 3 home runs yesterday, and he had a shot at 4. He struck out when, and then he was in the hole with a second opportunity to hit 4. He does have a chance tonight at tying or even setting the modern record for most home runs in back-to-back games. The modern record is 5. Matt Williams did it. Matt Williams hit 4 in one game, and then the next day he hit another one. So if Dixon hits 2 tonight, he can tie that record. If he hits 3 again, he could break that record.
Wow, what a niche, insane record. What a 48-hour period for Matt Williams. Let's hope he doesn't break it. Like, we literally talked about this yesterday, Sush, that Pilo, his message to the team is like, we prepare like it's any other game, whether it's a a losing streak that, we snapped 2 days ago, or a 20-run shellacking that we experienced last night. This is a new game. Not only is this a new game, but this is the team that we've dominated all year.
Yeah, for sure. And then this is where it really comes down to starting pitching once again. If Connor Siebold, attacks the zone and gets a quick top of the first inning, then yesterday's completely forgotten. The thing that you kind of worry about from a carryover standpoint is, okay, for all the pitchers, but especially for the starting pitcher, you sit around and you watch that game, you're usually charting pitches the night before you start. You see all those balls hit hard. What's your mentality? Is your mentality, oh boy, I can't throw a strike. I need to try to get them to chase pitches out of the strike zone. I need to nibble and hit the very, very, very edge of the plate. Or is your mentality like, no, they can't touch me. I don't care what they did yesterday. I'm going to go right after them, and I'm going to execute good pitches with conviction in these spots. I'm going to hit my spots. I'm going to change speeds. And that's where what Connor Siebold, brings to the table tonight is, that helps you quickly bounce back from it, because otherwise, and I've seen this so many times with pitchers where it's just a cumulative effect. You see the light show of home runs, and you go, oh no, I don't want to be the latest one. And once you start nibbling and you don't trust your stuff, that's when things get really bad.
So the Isotopes, Siebold, the Chupacabras, Watson, both with ERAs in the 6s, but both these guys are kind of trending up. What's the kind of stuff that each of these guys are bringing? I think we may have been disconnected from voice of the Isotopes, Josh Sushan. A bummer, because that is like one of my favorite things ever to do on this program. It's like a gift of being on this program. Is I'm honored to talk to Josh Sushan, voice of the Isotopes, every time they are on. And speaking of being on, his pregame show will be on in 6 short minutes, so don't miss a minute of that action. And after Josh Sushan's pregame, they're going right into the action as the hated El Paso Chupacabras face your Albuquerque Isotopes. Jason Thomas, voice of the Ice Wolves. We got to do this again, my man.
You tell me when, I'll be here.
Deal. Isaiah Johnson back at the studio. Hell of a job today, my friend. Good talk, Isaiah. We might be all the way disconnected, and I'm just talking to no one right now. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to play it out anyways, because look, Jason Thomas, voice of the Ice Wolves, your boy's a professional, and I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you do.
Shout out to friends of the show, John Lopez, Real Estate, and Coldwell Banker Legacy. We play on Team I-9. We start our days at the YMCA. Lunch that goes down at the 66 Diner. It's Throwing Thursday every Thursday at ABQ Axe. And when I'm at ABQ Axe or I'm downtown, I'm having a Red Door beer or a cocktail at Red Door downtown. All of my merch gets purchased at the Duke's Team Store on the corner of Central and Carlisle in the Nob Hill Shopping Center. In the weekends, that's for Teller Vodka, New Mexico's vodka. Don't miss a second of the action tomorrow morning on the opening drive with Jeff and JJ. And we'll see you at the El Rey Theater tonight. And 2 men on, Van Nunley. We'll see you tomorrow, Burke. Hey.